gentlemen, we've hijacked the Dota Cinema stream. We've booted out Sunsfan and Cinder, and
Get out of here.
Merleezy and LDZ up to no good. But we do have a good game coming your way. Secret versus Rave about to take place. Draft's begun, Ben. What's your prediction? You think Rave has any shot at taking a game off Secret here?
I don't really think so. Honestly, I think Rave, they've done pretty well, but they don't really upset that often. I would say they perform better than expected, but they still beat weaker teams and they lose versus stronger teams.
Yeah, and I feel like they're also their style is not particularly stable. They've been running like a lot of Spirit Breaker, it's a lot of tower diving face rush, but not with the face rush heroes that scale particularly well. So like not that much Troll, not that much Juggernaut. The one hero they do like to run a lot, of course, is the Slark, which can be explosive later on.
High risk, medium reward.
High risk, and Secret just aren't making many mistakes. So I got to go with you. My rares, my Arcanas, sad. Although I'd love to see Rave make it to that round of 8. But guys, with that said, the game has begun. Let's hop into it. So, draft underway now. We've seen teams try a lot of things versus Secret. They've tried banning out the Shadow Fiend. The Chen seems to be the go-to ban, but a lot of teams have let the Lycan go through versus them. I personally feel like out of all their strong heroes, Chen Lycan seem to be the two that they do best with, but no matter what you ban, they're going to get something that they excel with. They just, at this point, they've showcased, it seems like, at least like 8 to 10 heroes that they can just dominate with.
Yeah, first pick is really strong, though. I think especially if you are Secret. So it'll be interesting once the BO1s end and we can see a little bit of draft change. But for now, Secret will have the first ban and pick, and they will pick Axe. It's been a solid, stable first pick for them. They usually go with what? Some Axe or Bristle, some tanky hero for Zai.
Yeah, occasionally I think S4 played one Axe game. But yeah, it's generally Zai's on like your Axe or Bristle type of hero.
First pick Medusa. That is bold.
Now this is the hero that has given Secret the most problems. They generally are picking lineups that will focus on snowballing. So we see the Shadow Fiend, the Quap, the Lycan take over the map, just starve your opponents out. But Medusa is one of those heroes that likes to turtle.
Rave play a pretty tight game when they do go for this sort of strategy. Of course, as you said, they have like the man mode, face rush, tower diving, balls to the wall, but they also like play a really tight ball S5 passive play with smart pickoffs here and there. So I actually think this style is a little bit better suited against Secret, who tend to make less mistakes than other teams, and they'll punish Rave's aggressive playstyle if they choose to go for it.
Yeah, they occasionally do go for like that hard carry JO 4 protect 1 type style. I don't know if we'll see a dual core here, but they have run it in the past. So it's more like the games they were winning on day 1. It was usually with the more aggressive style. So they go Earthshaker now. Very defensive lineup by nature for Rave.
I think they have to go for another carry for JO. Dusa as a solo carry doesn't work versus most teams, just because you'll see like, you know, Slark in one lane, Troll in another, and like Juggernaut off lane. There's just so many carries that even if you do have a really farm Medusa, she can't carry 3v1. 3v2 maybe.
Gotcha. So as for Rave, do they ban the junglers here? A lot of teams have tried banning even Enigma second phase versus Secret, though it's not something they've been using. Enchantress was not banned in one of their games yesterday, and then they 5th picked it. So in general, it does seem like Secret, their main game plan is make sure that Arteezy is a good start, primarily through Puppey, applying a lot of pressure, ideally with a jungler, although he has played a couple of more laning style
Puppey has to see whether the lanes are weak and gankable first. Yeah. Medusa safe lane with a Shaker roaming is very defensive. Like,
yeah. Or even really Medusa mid is not an easy gank.
Yeah, but Medusa's mid is also a pretty difficult gank, especially with the Shadow Fiend in there. So I think that they need to see how the lanes develop, and if not, they can go with a greedy jungler like Enigma, because Earthshaker and Medusa can't really punish.
So they are going to ban the Enchantress, as some teams have tried.
Only 10
potential Secret here, who removed the Bat Rider. Now this is a hero that makes it very hard to break the base. If you're going up against a Bat, you try to go high ground, you get that one nice lasso, and suddenly Secret gets sucked into a bad team fight. So perhaps thinking down the road that even if they win this laning stage, they got to find a way to crack open the Medusa's shell.
So a lot of physical damage from Secret.
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend right clicks, Presence of the Dark Lord, and Axe with the...
Do you ban the Venge here, you think, if you're Rave?
I've seen a lot of good swap initiates, especially on a Medusa. It's like swap into hack, swap into call, swap into something like that, and it really just disorients team fights. I think it'd be a pretty good way to start with a setup on Medusa.
And it does synergize really nice with all that physical damage that you were mentioning.
5
And
seconds. Hurry,
it's good
hurry.
for Roshan too, especially since Secret is on Dire, so that's something that teams always have to watch out for. So I think it's a logical pick for them.
Yeah, as for Rave, I wonder if they continue with this team fight heavy lineup. We saw the Tidehunter yesterday from Newbie. Of course, if you do that, you may want to consider banning out the Rubik, but banning it is a pretty big tell as to what your game plan is in the second stage of the draft at the same time.
I think they need heroes that scale well into late game. Earthshaker with his instant echo is really good. Lion would have been good, but it's been banned out. Medusa scales really well. Something like, I think Zeus would be pretty good for them. Get a lot of magic versus axe.
Also can pressure the Shadow Fiend a lot if you get like a nice Earthshaker rotation on the mid lane.
Yeah, the heroes that I don't want to see from them are like Disruptor. It's not terribly good. BKB doesn't scale that well into the later game. You know, those sort of heroes. Witch Doctor also decent. Witch Doctor, I guess Dazzle is also...
Yeah, Witch Doctor Dusa is pretty good. They will ban Rubik, so we're probably going to see some big team fight heroes now. Magnus. All right, that was the other way to go with this. And... I
like
want.
the mech.
Do you even go into like a Tidehunter, or is that too much reliance on your big
it's
ultimates?
too much reliance on that. I think they need more damage now.
So with the Magnus pick, I mean, is there any chance this goes off lane, or does this put Medusa on the safe lane, you think?
I think it'll be safe lane.
The one issue with running that Magnus mid, though, is Shadow Fiend's going to have a really easy time of it.
10 seconds.
Unless they gank him.
Well, it depends on the support. So Secret haven't shown any supports.
5 seconds remain.
So
I do like the Rubik ban, though. You want to go Magnus, especially against Kuroki, who had just a sensational game yesterday. You got to ban it. So no surprises here. Secret now pick up the Venge. Rave, they'll need a range support. Maybe this is where you even think about that Witch Doctor and kind of hold back your last core until the final phase. And I think you need to adjust your mic a little bit, just so it's right in front of your mouth.
is it too quiet?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can boost you a little bit.
Okay. I'm there.
All right.
5
We
seconds.
Gucci, hopefully.
Hurry.
What's S4 going to play?
Dire team pick.
So Shadow Shaman, the Hex, really, really useful. It also gives them a little bit of early game and can contest Roshan pretty decently too. The problem with Mag, Earthshaker, and Medusa is that like before your Blink Dagger on Magnus and Earthshaker and before Dusa gets like Manta or something like that, there's like almost no pressure around the map, which is something that you never really want to have. I guess you can kind of have the threat of like, oh, Medusa late game is going to be pressure, but Shadow Shaman can take down towers very early, which is what they need. They need to open up space for Medusa to farm, let her be able to take out those Ancients and whatnot.
Man, I'm telling you, Secret love these junglers. The Enchantress ban, you can't ban them all. The good news with the Enigma, though, is it's much less aggressive.
Enigma's a really good pick here for Secret, just because the Rave has no way to punish it. Like Earthshaker and Shadow Shaman, this support duo cannot do anything aggressively on the other sides of the map. Maybe they can gank mid like occasionally, and maybe they can do okay versus an axe and zone them out. But at the same time, their kill potential is very, very low. Enigma gonna have a very easy time. He can probably even get Midas this game if he wanted to. He's also just good at locking down a Medusa later, so that you don't like generally Medusa's theory of winning the game is like, okay, you throw everything at her and she still lives and she's still shooting everybody.
Right.
But with Enigma, you have like so much disable, and also she can't really move around the fights too. So the Midnight Pulse actually does a lot of damage, especially since she doesn't really lose HP. Her current HP is going to be like very, very high for Midnight Pulse. So like Enigma with Ag's Refresher later in the game is going to be devastating for them and can trump the team fight of Magnus, Earthshaker, and Medusa, especially since they don't really have that much on BKB. It's not like a Enigma.
All they have is that Stone Gaze.
Stone Gaze RP technically, but it's very unlikely that
if you're RP canceling a black hole, then something's gone horribly. You're a sick Magnus, and something's gone horribly wrong.
5 seconds.
Brave now, final pick. They need probably the offlaner.
They need damage. They really like damage right now.
And Secret are banning one of the best offlane damage dealers in the Timbersaw.
Venom would be decent, I would say, for them. It's nice and defensive. It's damage. It
helps slow down the push a little bit.
Yeah, what else is there for them? I don't like Centaur too much here.
I mean, there's what is there. We've seen teams run the off-lane Jug, but they go super team fight heavy with the Brew. Off-lane Mag.
I actually think they're gonna try. They might even try to end the game early with this. This is not what I expected after the first 3 picks. Medusa Shaker's like, okay, very defensive, high ground centric. Magnus is like, okay, even more high ground holds, AoE team fight, anti BKB, and then Shadow Shaman's like, oh, okay, now they have some early game. And then Brewmaster's like, well, now we actually have a lot of early game. And I've seen teams end the game with the Medusa after her first item. She gets Scotty, and then they just
You just 5-man down mid. Yeah.
Especially with like some big ultimates like Black Hole and
they have the Shaman warps.
So this
could work. But their laning stage.
Their
It's
laning
looking a little weak now.
Reserve
You've got
time.
a Shaman who needs a lot of levels, can't really do too much early. Brew and Magnus, one of these has to go to the off lane, and it's not going to have the easiest time.
It depends on what secret picks for S4 though, right? Just like,
Right.
They could easily do like a. Oh, let's see.
Do they even think about like the Bristleback still? Very
10
good against
seconds to
Brew.
pick.
Bristleback's decent. I think they
5
need.
seconds.
They might need
Hurry,
better lanes
hurry.
though. I think they probably want to. I mean, I guess Bristleback's pretty safe here.
Necrophos can be the solution to a super tanky Medusa. And with this secret have a lot of damage. And it also gives them a nice mix. They had a lot of physical damage coming into this pick, but they balance it out with quite a bit of magic as well.
Necrophos is gonna. This is a tough to execute lineup from Secret. Like they don't really have that great weight of initiation aside from like swapping a call, like a
Maybe the Blink Necro ulti,
Yeah,
although
Blink
it's a
Necro
little
ulti.
gimmicky.
blink call as opposed to Rave. You have Fissure Blocks, you have Brew, Blink Split, you have Blink Clap Split, you have Shadow Shaman, Blink Ward, Hex, Magnus with Blink RP, Blink Echo. Rave has a lot more ways to initiate.
I will say Secret's 2 cores, the Shadow Fiend and the Necrophos, are very good at zoning and just dominating off-laners that are melee.
10 seconds.
You've got the Necrophos Heartstopper R, you walk into CS, you get healed,
5
well,
seconds.
nuked, I
remain.
should say, and I imagine it's going to be Arteezy still going mid. That Necrophos potentially laning against a Magnus or a Brew, not the easiest lane for them. And it's not like Rave really have a offensive tri-lane potential here.
Let's have a good, clean match today.
They can still, I think, 2-on-1, 2 supports roam mid a lot too. Venge isn't the greatest defensive support, especially if someone gets Fissure blocked, they're going to die early. So I think they can actually maybe focus their efforts on Arteezy this game. I have seen that backfire a lot though.
Yeah, Puppy and Kuro have been very timely on the rotations. Even Zai coming mid at times. And on a hero like Axe, that might be the case here as well. Guys, it's time for Secret versus Rave. Rave currently 5-5. They're currently 8th place, but a loss here puts them in the danger zone of starting in that lower bracket, and they're not actually guaranteed to go to the main event just yet, though. They're getting close to that stage. Secret looking to continue their undefeated run here. And we introduce the teams now. Secret defending their jungle, wanting to protect that Enigma's early farm. We've got Kuroki on the Venge. Arteezy playing your Shadow
seconds
Fiend.
to
Puppy,
video game.
the Enigma.
30
S4, the Necrophos. And it leaves Zai as the off-lane Axe. As for Rave, Jo going to be handling the Medusa, the Snake Monster. NB, Ninja Boogie, going to be on your Shadow Shaman. Ryo playing the Brewmaster, headed to the safe lane for now. Chrissy will be rushing the bottle as the Magnus, and that does leave Cast on the Earthshaker. Are they running the Medusa mid?
Yeah, looks like Medusa mid
Okay.
and Magnus off lane with Fissure Blocks to help.
murder each
It's a
other for
dual
my amusement.
melee off lane, which is extremely weak, but at least they have the Fissure Block to make the couple of waves easier. Puppy denying the first creep in mid will also make things a lot more easy for Arteezy. So that's I don't want to say like 2 lanes won, but it's already
close.
it's a good start. It's a good start for them.
Yeah, and this is the main danger when you're running the Magnus and Brew together. And you have a hero like Medusa that isn't going to dominate her lane per se, but more just going to sit there and farm. Somebody's going to have a bad time.
Yeah, I also think Secret's offlane is stronger too. Axe versus a very low armor hero and very slow hero like Shadow Shaman is...
Even the Brew has 2 armor. It's not that great.
Yeah, Brew is somewhat susceptible to the Axe spins too. So,
Yeah, can't Drunken Haze those.
Yep.
That's a bit of a concern.
or dodge.
Yeah.
It's a really nice build from Shadow Shaman, though. He really needs boots first, because he needs to exert pressure onto the Shadow Fiend, punish Enigma for being a greedy hero in general, and also he has to be able to run away from Axe. Axe 290, not the best move speed, but certainly better than Shadow Shaman's without boots.
So one thing we haven't discussed is that Secret are very good at taking Roshan. Enigma can solo it with the Venge, Shadow Fiend. It gets super easy. And the Necrophos who can help keep them healthy.
There's pretty much no way Rave can contest.
And Rave can't. They can't scout at all. They need their blinks, and even then, just to go into the pin. Even then, they're not going to have easy ways to get vision.
It's a real big problem for them. That's the thing about their lineup, the Roche lineups. Like you have an even game, and then you take 1 Roche, 2 Roche, 3 Roches, and then that's simply game because it's so close before. Something simple like that can upset the balance very easily. It's a Battle Hunger first build from Zai, something that you don't see very often. But it is nice versus a ranged hero with boots trying to zone you out, especially since
the regen's going to be limited for Ninja Boogie here.
Brewmaster also doesn't have a South, so he can't really help the Shadow Shaman with that.
Yeah, it seems like a really nice adjustment, and that Shadow Shaman not getting off any early pulls and also not doing much to keep Zai out of the lane, who's got the pulled regen. He's still sitting on 4 tangos on top of it. Just needs to get to the Tranquil Boots early. As you can see, Cast is now rotated mid, looking to protect Jo, maybe set up on Arteezy, although it's not like you really have a whole lot of killing potential here early on. I suppose a bit worried about those Vengeful Spirit ganks, but Enigma not likely to join, and they do see her in lane. Is he going to do some stacking? He's not really doing much right now.
Venge?
Oh no, the Earthshaker.
Oh, Earthshaker?
It's like Enigma's not going to gank you at 1.5 minutes, and they see the Venge.
I mean, he might be looking for a block like this. I can't really draw the angle, but it's Dusa though. Is Dusa really going to be able to get a kill?
Yeah, that's kind of the issue here, I feel.
Okay, back to killing each other.
Maybe.
I mean, he can't really do that much else though. It's not like they can kill a axe on bottom, especially not with his positioning.
Yeah, the Fissure comes out from on Arteezy, but still 10 CS early, having a great start, and out CSing the Medusa. You're doing this at level 1. It's only going to get easier. Well, now level 3, but off to a fantastic start. Bottle up, boots coming soon, and at the same time, Chrissy has secured his own bottle. He's actually doing all right in terms of levels here. That Fissure block helping out quite a bit. As he hits level 2 and change, and keeping up almost with Zai. This creep wave, once this is done, he should pretty much be even.
But still, Enigma's just getting so much, and they aren't really getting that much out of their other lanes. So, I mean, Earthshaker's just kind of sitting there doing nothing. He's level 1. He's out of clarities right now, so he's kind of a dead hero right now. Shadow Shaman had to spend a lot of time trying to zone out the axe. He's not really stacking or pulling, so Secret's going to pull very far ahead in this first 10 minutes of the game. Or it's setting up to be that way, at least. There's no smokes on Rave, too, so that means pretty much no pressure out for Shadow Fiend, because Dusa can't really pressure. And
the issue is, even if they had smokes, their laners are just not very good at getting early kills. Like a Brew... This Brew lane is not an easy kill because it's a melee here going up against an X, and the X is having a good start. Oh, speaking of which, Zai walks in. He doesn't have a point yet in Berserker's Call, and they try to turn on him, not getting many spins, but there's always that danger of a quick double spin, so they can't really commit. But yeah, like we already talked about, you're not really going to gank.
Oh, he's going for a spin on Reed. Oh my goodness, he is a spin lord. Oh my gosh.
I thought he was just going to back off.
He just hit level 4, and then...
Oh, you got a point and call.
Yeah, he got a point and call, and that took the
I completely airballed the camera for that.
Brew also picked up a boots as opposed to a bottle, bottle as opposed to a boots. And I think that you have to get boots versus an axe so you don't get caught by the call.
Oh man, giving up a solo kill in this dual lane is just a terrible way to start things. Tranquil Boots now online. They're going to go on Zai here, but realistically, they have to be worried that he turns and with a couple spins, even potentially kills Ryo. He gets off the call, but he is dropping low to this. He needs like 2 more spins. Battle Hunger not going to get it.
Oh, he's so manly. I think he can back off and kite with his...
well, you know, sometimes you're feeling the spin lord, you know? He's like, the first time it worked, I should just do it again. But that's important. Right when he's starting. Still, it's going to be a good lane for Zai. But and with the Tranquil Boots, he can just easily go jungle if he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big blunder, though. He could have punished Brew for going to battle first by just controlling the lane and out-regenning him with Tranquil and then controlling the rune.
It also gives Ninja Boogie a lot of levels. He's hit level 4, and this is without... I don't think he's even done a single pull yet. So suddenly that level 6 early wards, it's a possibility. Are we going to see our first smoke anytime soon here from Secret? Nothing just yet. They'll toss out a Fissure, but you can see Arteezy's generally been hugging like this area of the ramp, so it's not easy to get those Fissure blocks. His position has been immaculate so far.
And they, in that position too, it's very easy for Enigma to counter gank and rotate. So yeah, they had to be really, really careful.
Well, and of course, even if Rave do fall behind early, they have the kind of lineup that can mount a gigantic comeback. Empowered Medusa, mass team fight. Secret thus far, when they get leads, have been very good at starving opponents. Oh, are we going to see a jump on top lane? No, Chrissy retreating out. But that doesn't mean that they're going to continue to play perfect. At some point, you know, mistakes are bound to happen. And they almost did in the newbie game. They were very lucky to close that out.
Something that's been hurting Secret a lot is this Observer Ward blocking that top spawn. It's kept Kuro really underleveled, and it's given a lot of unnecessary experience to Chrissy.
Did he try to deward it and fail, or did he just not buy sentries?
I don't believe he bought sentries. I think he went with boots first.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps the Enigma makes up for it. Puppy hitting level 6?
Yeah, I think they could have done both, though.
Right.
Because Kuro hasn't been mid at all, so he's just been trying to zone out Mag and trying to get some levels.
And Chrissy continues to get a lot out of this off. For an offlane Mag, he had the one fissure block, and that's it. He's had no help since then, and it goes back to that ward that you mentioned.
6-minute rune, see a couple of heroes go in, but looks like Chrissy will be the only one there exactly at the spawn. Free one for Cass on the bottom lane. Not so bad for them. Tread's already up on Shadow Fiend.
And Puppy just content to continue jungling here. Do you expect him to be the early mech carrier for this team, Ben? I mean, Necrophos, I guess, can go for it, but we don't see that too often now.
I think they need to hit with Blink X.
Okay.
If they want. And it also depends on what build Necro goes for. If Necro goes for a Blink, I think they can be Blink Bros.
Okay. So then maybe mech on the Enigma and the double Blink on the other two.
Yeah. I think that
and he will buy the
better.
headdress now.
It's unclear as what Necrophos' build is. I don't think he can end the game early versus Rave's lineup. Just because it's like fissure block on high ground and like the threat of a blink skewer is just too much.
Yeah, you could tell Secret were a bit worried about that in the draft. They banned the Batrider second phase, but
yeah, that's an amazing
Magnus is kind of a good replacement for the Magnus, or for the Batrider in that sense. Not as good as Bat, but still decent.
So Secret just have to get a lot of Roches and out economize the other team, and of course, you know, get BKBs versus like Shaker and Brew and whatnot.
Yeah, they are topping the CS chart. Secret accruing a very substantial lead on the back of that Enigma. Now up 3,500 gold, 4,000 experience. You expect some advantage for them, but this is a pretty immense lead to have this early on.
It's just absolutely no interruption on Puppy. Like, Puppy doesn't even care. There's not a care in the world for him. Shadow Fiend, no pressure, no even attempted ganks. I guess some fissures, if you can call that ganks at all. S4's just been free farming on top, and the only thing that's been happening for bottom lane has been the one kill on Axe. But these supports don't have smokes, and I don't really think they can make a move without it.
Yeah, Rave seems to just be all in on the idea that they may fall behind, but just farm the Medusa, get the blinks on their two initiators, and just try to take it super late.
Going aggressively on cast.
There is a fissure here, but no real follow-up. So I will retreat. Maybe he even makes that rotation to the jungle now, tries to work towards the blink. He's going to trot towards it. Puppy, no smoke for him. Wants to complete the mech. Is it coming out now?
Artesia went for a 1 point early in presence of the Dark Lord too. So that means they can roach a little bit earlier if they want to.
Yeah, not a particularly common build.
Oh, he's going aggressively.
Speaking of Artesia.
Oh no.
Or actually not Artesia. Zai gets skewered up on the cliff. Nicely done. Meanwhile, Artesia is diving cast mid, and one more auto attack. Gets the kill with the haster, and good cliff play here. Zai is going to be a sad boy. Kurro's like, I'm trying to stretch his arm out to hand him the TP up the cliff, but can't quite do it. Sad Zai. But yeah, Artesia getting that kill on the Earthshaker. And these supports are going to become liabilities, it feels. Level 3 Earthshaker. He's got 1,000 net worth. Ninja Boogie is doing decently, though. He gets the arcane boots. He's going to drop wards on the tower, and that is the one big thing with the Shadow Shaman. We've seen teams really struggle to trade towers effectively with Secret. They normally just take and give nothing in return. But with these wards, looks like they will at least bring this tier 1 level.
Oh, it's a Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger on Brew. I think he's going to go on Zai since he doesn't spot it out.
But it's right when the Roche is happening. I wonder if Secret just ignore this and go for the Roche. It looks like they may let Zai die. TP'd in one hero's reinforcements. He'll call the Brew split. S4 now joining, and Ninja Boogie, the first one man down. Can they even kill Zai in time? He's too tanky with the Tranquil boots. And the call, they're just hardly doing a thing to him. The split's going to end. Ryo has the blink. Where's he going?
They ping out Roche. They ping out Roche. They know.
Can they get in here, though? Jayo's walking in. He has Stone Gaze. Arteezy's pretty low. He's going to show his face outside the pit. Brew actually had the blink clap, but it looks like Zai's been able to get on him and cancel it. The clap bringing Zai into danger zone territory. And calmly top lane Chrissy just farming away here while Kuro gets his levels. But they do thwart that Roche attempt. And they also get the tower kill for Ninja Boogie. Not too terrible for Rave.
It's not that great for them. Brew can't solo. Brew hasn't been able to solo kill the Axe, which is pretty devastating, I think, for them.
It's tough. With the start Zai had, he gets the Tranquil Boots, and when he calls the split really doesn't do much. You just have the immolation damage.
Well, Shadow Fiend did pick up a regen. Looks like he is transitioning into the Yules build. Great verse, Brew in particular, I think is where this build shines, especially if you're on land. You have quick reflexes, low ping. Great environment to make big plays on a Blink Brew. Also Blink Mag.
Speaking of the Brew, he's smoked. Raver heading top. S4, though, already has point booster Ogre Club. There's no way you're getting him, and certainly not with the Bruce, but I actually don't know what the plan is.
Ward trap, they can.
Well, maybe with the ward trap. Kuroki's not level 6. They stun Ryo to start. He drops the ward surrounding S4, but they might just be able to kill these wards and get him out of there. They shackle him, hold him in position. There is a stun in 3 seconds. S4 dropping low to this, but he'll stick up and survive. Blink, clap, needs the crit. Ryo gets it. Maybe forfeits his own life, though, as the TP comes in from the Axe. Ward trying to cover the path of retreat. They go for 2 kills here using the Battle Hunger Ninja Boogie. The wards are going to start chewing through Kuro, though, who wants to finish off Ryo. He's kept alive, and Ryo trying to find that blink clap. He blinks back. Kuro chasing forward. Zai also on the hunt. He's in dunk range. Nearly Wave of Terror, not enough. Can't get the kill. And he'll back off. The Battle Hunger was cooling down. Somehow he survives. It works out really nicely getting that Necrophos kill. They also force everyone on Secret to rotate. And this frees up Chrissy Bottom, who is quite close to a blink for an off-lane mag. He's got Arcanes. He's got 1900 gold. Not too shabby.
They're doing a good job of spreading the map and actually applying some pressure now. First on Axe, then on the tower, then on this tower on top. And yeah, that was a difficult, very difficult kill for Ray to get. I'm glad they committed the Brewmaster to that fight too.
Yeah,
he almost got his head chopped off.
Even if you lose him there, killing off the Necrophos almost justifies it. And it also creates a lot of space for the Magnus. He's going to have his blink pretty much now. Has a bounty room bottled up. Just needs to farm this one stack here.
So now Enigma probably looking to get involved in fights. Bought the care package of the Scent Smoke Obs combo and the mech.
That's a nice little present from the parents. You know, get a little smoke, little TP
I wonder if
scroll.
it's going to be a Midas from Brew.
He does pick up the gloves.
I would say it's not the worst thing.
I mean, they have their double blink combo, right? And they're already naturally very hard to push into.
Uh-oh. Arteezy might be in a pickle here.
Rave smoking into the pit. Do they actually try to steal this? Do they have shaman wards?
I don't know.
It's very risky, though.
Risky.
But it seems like they might even try for it. This is ballsy if they do. There's a Sentry Ward up on the high ground. The Cyclone going to start things off, though. Medusa now blinking forward is Ryo. He gets past the Fissure. Actually, the Fissure might end up hurting his team. Arteezy dropping low. They'll pop him quickly. Now they Stone Gaze. That's the Shadow Fiend out of the fight off the bat. He used the Yules offensively, and then had nothing to make his way out of here. Now Ninja Boogie chasing on to S4. The nuke's coming out. He gets off the shackle from the high ground side. Tries to dunk. He's a little bit early. 2 hero RP. The black hole from the high ground, though, turning this to counter Fissure. Breaking that black hole. Jo running out of mana rapidly. He may go down here. It's up to Ryo most likely to engage and help him out. He can't do it. They even buy back on the Shaman. As Zai leaps forward, he gets Hex. And Rave are now in a headlong retreat. They're just lacking damage at this point. Shackling Zai under... No, actually not under tower. Just under catapult fire. This could be a dieback from Ninja Boogie. He's going to go down again. Ryo blinking in. He may also fall here. This is a chop. No, actually, he already put on cooldown. Not even needed. Secret getting 3 kills plus the 4th kill on the Shaman dieback. And now the ping's coming out for Roche as Arteezy is going to look to strut in there immediately.
You know, that's even a sloppy engage from Secret. Like, Arteezy used his Yules on the Medusa, I guess kind of threatening a push, and then they just let him open to a Blink Brew split combo.
Chrissy wants to jump in here, it looks like. He has a Shockwave. The Blink Skewer maybe tries to bring someone back up the cliff. No, not gonna go.
He might get yours and just die. He can't do
No
it.
more middle tower for Radiant.
It just shows you that Rave need a lot of items to hit hard in the fights. Until Medusa gets some damage, you have level 1 in power, and that's about it.
She died so quickly.
Yeah. Once they focused her. At first they were kind of ignoring the Medusa, going for the Shaman, trying to keep the other heroes off of RTZ, but yeah, once they turned their attention to that Medusa, she just melted. This is just not Rave's stage of the game.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
If they're trying to get this Brumitis, Medusa's still a long way to go before first item. Jo really got styled on mid. RTZ, it was pretty much a pure 1v1. Both team supports completely jungling, and you see the CS now. He's just way behind.
Medusa can't win past 7.
Yeah.
I think 1 through 6 she can do decently.
Normally what teams do to make up for that is they just stack the Ancients a lot. But there's only a single stack here.
Still, Secret hasn't done Roshan yet, so that's a somewhat of a victory for them.
Oh, Jo in trouble. He's going to Stone Gaze. The Yules comes out from Arteezy. He's going to turn to Stone here, but I don't know if Jo makes it out. There's no backup. Oh, there's the Fissure. Okay. But still the chase. Ryo getting caught from the rear. He's going to blink in. He gets caught. Necrophos ult is online, but he splits first. Would have been quite enough damage to get the kill. Now Cycloning the Necrophos, going on to Kroki, but again, damage a bit lacking here. They're getting their spells off, and then nothing else really happens.
So that's a waste of Stone Gaze, a waste of Brew Ultimate for...
Do you just push if you're Secret?
Yeah, definitely.
They even have the Enigma mech online, and Zai will just blink, continue cutting the waves and applying pressure. The one thing Rave could do is just rat with the wards.
They might be able to, like, at least
threaten high ground.
Just force them back at least, and then if they TP back, do Rosh. But it looks like they will not. There's already 2 heroes sitting on there. They have a pretty scary lineup to siege early if Rave doesn't have their items.
Blake skewer mid onto Puppey. The ward's getting dropped. Now he has mech though. Will pop it. And in fact, Chrissy's been ward trapped. Oh, Ninja Pogi, please. They swap Puppey up to the high ground. This just couldn't go any worse as Ninja Pogi will get caught. He's dunked from almost half health by Zai with the level 2 ultimate. They blow the wards. They blow the RP. And they lose both heroes. They don't even dent the tower, really. And this is not all. In the meantime, Ryo getting caught up by the Shadow Fiend here. He blinks out, but now the way to Roche lies open. It's every little mistake is just being punished so hugely by Secret.
I mean, that's
brutal.
That's what happens when you freeform Enigma in 15 minutes. You get Tread's mech, and he's just really difficult to kill. If you don't kill him, you just get black hole and die, or you just lose the fight like that. They blew 2 ultimates on him too. It was not like they didn't commit enough. I guess they didn't commit enough heroes, but those 2 heroes did.
They're just so light on damage. And Puppey's tanky. I mean, the combination of these 2 things is just... They have to blow the big ultis, and it's... Even if you get that kill, that's a 4-position Enigma, and you've used RP and wards, at which point Secret are definitely taking Roche regardless.
That was a really smart ban, though. The Timbersaw ban. Like, looking at their lineup, it's just... Mag doesn't do any damage. There's no cleaver, too, with Empower, which is a big issue.
Yeah.
But the strength is high ground hold. The strength is, I guess, very, very late game. Although, I think at this point they might be able to just kite the Medusa or, you know, have her sit in midnight pulls, Yules her.
The one thing for Secret that really impresses me though is when they get these leads. To me, they're the best team in the tournament at extending a lead. They get the early lead, they farm the entire map well, they get good wards down, they pressure everywhere, and they just starve the ever-living crap out of their opponents.
I mean, look at their wards, though. It's 1 right outside the mid T2 and 1 in the Radiant jungle. Like, these are pretty deep wards, and this way they can see when Rave Ancients, too, which is going to be a significant source of their income. And, I mean, that's just scary if Secret always has eyes on you. Like, there's very little places that they don't have vision. I guess top lane, I suppose, is pretty much the only place, but
they still have a tier 1 there even, so it's still fairly well protected.
I mean, look at where Arteezy was just farming. He's farming right outside the T2 with no backup around, so if he dies once, he's likely going to die twice. And he's not scared.
Well, at this point, the Midas Brew definitely feels like the right item. It may not pay off, but they're getting a Vlad's or something at this stage would not allow Rave to take these fights. So they're just going to basically turtle and go for ultra late game.
Wow, look at Necrolite. So Necrophos went BKB, and Enigma went Blink. So there are Blink Burrows, but not the Blink Burrows that I expected.
Blinking from Zai, just going to farm the wave. Yeah, that's generally the other way around is what you would expect to see. It is a really good Enigma BKB game.
Here they go on Brewmaster in the bottom lane.
Nope. Cyclone a creep. Take that. Who is it? I remember seeing some player like using his Yules just to secure a last hit. Because his auto attack was on cooldown. It's the most random thing ever.
Easy 50 damage. The coolest is getting kills with it. Like hero kills.
Yeah, just get the last hit. Chaos your teammates.
I mean, see, look, this ward, they see these two, and like, how are Rave supposed to exert any pressure when and stop this like split pushing when they have vision? I think one of the supports just mans up and buys a gem. I think probably Shadow Shaman, and then they go around and de-ward, and then after
he
that,
could buy one now. Of course, if he does that, then the dream of a blink is pretty much not happening.
It's sacrificing his farm for the betterment of the team, and somebody has to do it.
It does feel like they need either a gem or just some really good Sentry Ward placements, but it gets expensive.
The Sentry Wards have missed. They have this one and this one, and it's a guessing game. There's so many places they could have wards. They could have wards here. They could have wards on the high ground. They could have wards over here on the cliff. They could have wards in between a T2 and a T3. There's way too many options for Secret to have good wards.
Yeah, and it's one thing if you have your own wards up so you can see when they're planting them, but since they're in the dark, like you look at Radiant Vision right now, they see nothing outside of this one ward, which was just planted. It's a total guessing game. Very difficult. And you could just see Secret kind of extending their tentacles out on the map. Now they're farming the Radiant Ancients. They were even taking over these camps, and Rave getting continuously more and more limited in terms of where they can go through vision, through starvation tactics. They're looking a little emaciated now, Ben.
Starving kids.
Think of the children. Think of poor Jo.
Yeah, I mean, Secret just plays a really tight game with very few mistakes. And as you said, like, you give them a small lead, they'll get another 2,000 gold lead with that, and then, you know, they're just really good at incrementally increasing it.
Fissure coming out onto Zai. Will they follow this up with anything? They do hex him. This is a dangerous hero to commit on. He's quite tanky. Has a Blink, Force, and Vanguard. Now Arteezy will TP, and they've dropped the wards. Those will be quickly farmed up. Tower is going to be denied. So finally they get at least something. But it's a denied tower at that, and Secret congregating. They might even look to push in here. Ninja Boogie got a TP out. And Zai actually very close to spotting him out. But again, there's just no freebies. Even when they take a tower, it requires the wards. The wards are then farmed by Secret, and they deny the tower as well. And the aggressive wards continue. This one's been planned on the high ground. The vision is just so one-sided.
Yeah, I guess they just wait to just massacre them with like a 25, 30,000 gold lead. This is what it seems like right now. I think it's still too early to push high ground for Secret. They have Blink up on Mag, and that's pretty much enough to dissuade a push by a well-played Mag.
Yeah, you get that one Blink skewer to start the fight, or like the 3-4 hero RP, although that might be a bit more difficult.
They do have good tower siege, though. Like, they have Enigma Eidolons, and they have a Shadow Fiend. They will have a Shadow Fiend with Aegis, and on top of that, they'll have Necrophos for the sustain. So
the other thing is they have the Venge. So even if someone gets caught out of position, they might still be able to like swap them back to safety. As Ninja Boogie will get trapped out by Zai here. He dared to leave the base, and he will be punished for it. Necrophos ult to finish him off, and
see you at 70 seconds.
Yeah, that's a 70-second death timer on the friggin' Shadow Shaman.
It's the opposite of Shallow Grave.
It's a very deep, deep grave for him, as Arteezy's going to prep. Black Hole waiting for Ryo on the way down. This is two heroes for Rave who dared to venture forth. They both pay. Then, meanwhile, they just got two heroes strutting around mid. Rave have 3, and they're the ones who probably need to be backing off. S4 charging, and he's throwing heal bombs out.
They also don't hesitate, too. Like, okay, it's a Necrophos ult on a Rasa. You'll see a lot of Necrophos players hold it for a more important target, but the fights are so few and far between. Black Hole on a Panda, whatever. I mean, they're just going to do it because they know they can get kills with it, and they know they can capitalize on each and every kill.
Secret just continue to be surgical in all their movements. It's been very one-sided. They get the Blink call. It's on 2 by Zai. He drags them in closer to his team, chops the first. He will end up getting Stone Gaze, but I mean, really, you're not bringing an axe down with
the damage that he took during the Stone Gaze was actually pathetic.
It's pretty terrible. 12 armor, has the Vanguard. It's rough. They're just not making mistakes, Ben. I don't know what you do when you fall behind this early. They even made decent efforts to get out on the map, like from the, I don't know, the 10 to 20 minute mark. But every time they did, Secret were prepared. They TP'd in pretty quickly. There was the one kill top where they got the kill on, who was it? The Necrolite, and then got out. But that was it. They've had one clean kill the entire game, and that almost wasn't a clean kill even at that.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Secret looking good.
They still have some tough opponents. EG, Vici Gaming, the two main ones, but it looks like this game is well in their hands. They're already confident to breach high ground against this amazing 5-man defense that Rave have on paper. Even at 25 minutes. They're not going to fully commit, though. Perhaps waiting for the next Roche. Could be respawning any second now, and just a textbook move here. You push in the bottom lane all the way to the tier 3, and then you immediately back off, check the Roche, and if it's up, you just take it right away.
They still have ways to counter-initiate a mag, too. Like, the high ground defense is difficult, but only if mag gets, like, a blink skewer in into, like, a fissure block off. As you said, they have the swap. They also have a 4-staff up on Vengeful Spirit.
Oh, does she?
I believe so.
Oh, coming on the courier.
Yeah, so they have a 4-staff on Venge. They also have, like, Yules on the mag can also stop that initiate and just lead to a kill. They also have, like, Malefice on Enigma that can stop it. A Blink Black Hole to counter-initiate. A Blink Axe Call to counter-initiate. So, like, the high ground is difficult, but it's not impossible if Secret are, you know, really fast at reacting to what Rave is going to do.
Well, and it certainly doesn't hurt when you've got that 20k golden experience lead. 4 of the top 5 farmers are on Secret. And they're just waiting for the next Roche at this point. They get this Roche, item-wise, I guess they could wait for this S4. No, he's already completed it. Shiva's is out. Any other big items? Butterfly out. I guess the BKB and Arteezy. You get the BKB on Arteezy, you just complete the Shivas on Necrophos, you have your Venge 4-staff to deal with any fissure block shenanigans, and outside of that, they're ready to go high ground. Maybe they wait for Puppy's BKB if he wants to buy it. He's got 3.3k gold. Outside of that, I think they've got all the tools they need. It will take a very spirited, borderline miraculous defense to hold out.
Agreed.
Chances of comeback... What would you say? 1%?
Not 1.
10.
I mean, yeah, less than 10.
5.
I'd say. This is a really, really difficult position for Rave.
Not 100% out, though. And this is a team that won't give up too early. They blink clap on Zai. I mean, they have the blink skewer play, but you look at their vision, and they have really limited ideas as to what's behind them. They do see the Necrophos, but for all they know, there's 3 heroes sitting right here.
They can't kill anyone quickly. Like, the burst is almost non-existent. You have, what, like, Shockwave, like Lightning from Shaman, and maybe like an Echo Fissure combo, but even that's like 1,000 damage, maybe. Mystic Snake, throw on another couple hundred.
Jo starts slithering out into the mid lane, but Arteezy's going to greet him. Tosses out the Yule Scepter. There are 4 hero smoke behind him, although it's pretty obvious, I think, for Secret that is the case. As you look at their vision right now, and there's literally nobody on the map from the Radiant side, outside of the Earthshaker, which just got revealed. So they'll back off. They're going to TP onto the bottom lane, and as soon as that's spotted, actually even before it is, Secret into the Roche pit. Straightforward. Now the BKB up on the Shadow Fiend, the BKB up on the Enigma. S4 probably going to complete his Aghanim Scepter. I thought he had more gold. Oh no, he bought the Shivas, that's right.
Now the rage is for the books.
Oh, I meant the Ags on the Axe, that's right. Zai's about to complete his, but... Level 3 chop coming soon. And at that point, what's the chop threshold here with the eggs? It's 625. We're looking at a Shadow Shaman who dies from over half health. That's like one Shadow Fiend right click, 1 raise, and a chop.
Get cold.
Brutal. Simply brutal. Secret just making it look easy. There's been almost no action as of late, and you can see the last time that Rave got a kill was 14 minutes. It's been pure starvation. They've been on the liquid diet here ever since, and they're starting to show the effects. The Secret begin to pincer them in. They want to push in all 3 lanes before they go for the high ground breach. The Axe dealing with top. The other 4 towards the southern side of the map. Not too much longer until they'll try and go high ground, it seems.
They have
Radiant's
4
top
minutes.
tower is being attacked.
4 minutes to make a move. That's longer than a black hole cooldown.
They're just leaving nothing to chance. Like, even... Oh, this could be it, though. Blink Skewer onto S4. The Echo Slam used to try and burst him down, but they get off the swamp. S4 is kept alive. Now the Black Hole, not very good. Only gets JO, and then he's turned into a Stone Gaze. Even with all their preparations and backup plans, it will be good enough. RP comes through on 3, but Rave a bit lacking for damage. The Fissure connecting as well. From the side comes Artur. He'll slash through JO. He brings down the Shaman as well, and with that, fights his way against the War Team. End up going down here once. The Boulder Toss coming out. They do buy back on that Medusa and look to re-engage. Eul Scepter keeping him alive, and he will fall, but still has the Aegis. They've used RP, they've used the Brew Split, they get the Blink Skewer once more, though. The Vengeful Spirit is dead. Maybe, just maybe, they can hold this high ground. Oh no, not like this. Double dunk, triple dunk. Is it gonna be a quad? Oh, he actually only gets the triple. Someone else got the last hit there, but either way, now another chop. No, he's out of mana. That's just...
That was a sick call by Zai. I mean, Rave had a good game plan there. Fissure, Blink, Skewer. That's a great way to start off the fight, but they're just too far. He four-stepped him away. I don't think initially he was close enough to the cliff, but he forced him away, he swapped him down, and then Venge sacrificed their life, Blink Black Hole, and then RTZ on the bottom side. They also had a very good pincer movement too. Like it's Shadow Fiend on the bottom, the other few on the top, so that Shadow Fiend doesn't get caught in an RP. And he dealt with the Panda ult by his lonesome.
But you can see why Secret took their sweet time with that game, because if they try to do that when they're like 10, 15k ahead,